So have you started?
Yes, sir, recording has begun.
So someone Shudip Mahato addressed a few problems. Thanks for reaching out. So he addressed a few problems like what are stakes. So I guess I've explained it. If you will watch the recording, I guess you will get to know about it. Even if you have any problems after watching the recording, please do let me know. I will tell you personally. What is liquidity? Okay, so I did explain this, but I'm going to explain it again. So liquidity in a market is, um, for example, there are like 10 guys, 10, and you want to buy, say for example, football. So what you do, in Bengali we call it chanda. Okay, in Hindi we call it chanda. So what you do, you say for example you take 100 rupees from each, so you get 1000 rupees total, right? So 1000 rupees is a total liquidity that is in the pool in your hand right now. So for example, if all those 10 people, so it give those 100 rupees inside a basket, that liquidity of the basket is 1000 rupees. So that is what liquidity of a market means. So in the world of finance, it meant asset. It mean asset. Yeah, asset value is different. Liquidity is different. Asset value means, um, for example, you possess. Is caviar an example of a token? Okay, my colleagues will be answering these questions. Mm. Okay, so I guess this is what liquidity means. Like liquidity and assets are different, and liquidity in the world of finance means that, say for example, there are like 5 bitcoins total circulating in the market. So the total, the liquidity of that market at that moment is 5 bitcoins. So this is what liquidity means. I can't get what the algorithm proof of work. I've explained it. Stakes. Okay, so what is Binance and Wazirex? Binance is the world's largest crypto exchange site. So what is a crypto exchange site? As I have just stated, this is a crypto exchange site. Let me present it. Sorry. So this is what a crypto exchange site looks like. It's our crypto exchange site. So you have spot market, futures market, orders, and Atiari coin is going to be launched today. Is going to be launched on like 6 p.m. today. So this is a spot market. If you go, you can see the options over here, like buy BTC, you can sell BTC. Okay, so this is what basically a crypto exchange site is. Exchange, what do you mean by exchange? Simply means that you are giving something, and in return you are getting something. So you can buy using INR, USD, whatever it is, and in return you will be getting BTC, and then you can sell that BTC after you have enough profit generated. After you generate enough profit, you can sell it and get the corresponding fiat currencies, that is INR, BTC, INR, USD, and whatever it is. So we are an international exchange site, just like Binance, but Wazirex is an Indian site. That is, we mostly we have foreign customers. We are trying to promote it in India since we are Indians. So Wazirex is India's one of the largest cryptocurrency exchange sites, and Binance is world's largest cryptocurrency exchange site. Um, and what are the other questions? And are nonce and hash are same kind? Nonce and hash are not of the same kind. Nonce is a pseudo random number. It is a number. Hash may consist of any value. For example, a hash may be like ABC1, 2, then another like GC8, 6, 8. Okay, it can consist of numeric as well as alphabetical values. A hash is completely different than a nonce. Nonce is a numeric value where you guess the nonce while you are mining, you guess that number, and if you have successfully matched the conditions provided by the system, then you will be able to verify and mine that block. Are miners and validators the same? If not, how they are separated? See, it depends on the consensus algorithm that you're using. So for example, if you're using the proof of work, you're called miners. If you're using proof of stakes, you're called validators. In also, not actually in proof of stakes, you're called forgers. But then there are a lot of forgers that wants to participate in the mining process, but then again, that's what do I call it, like random variable. There's this random counter that goes around and selects one person. The one selected forger, he validates the transaction. That is called a validator. Okay, so different consensus algorithms have different protocols, different systems, and some in Bitcoin's consensus algorithm, they are called as miners. In Ethereum's proof of stake algorithm, they are called validators. Oh, okay, so I guess I have answered most of your questions. Sudeep Mahato, please keep reaching out. What are tokens? I guess I've answered this. Sir, how the AVA loan works? This is absolutely out of the scope. It is a really big, like, we have designed a similar protocol better than that. AVA loan, basically you have to give collaterals. In return, you will get cryptocurrencies. What type of records can be kept in a blockchain? Any type of record. Even let me show you something. The power token. Have you ever seen electricity being traded? If you have not seen, you can go to this website, and you can see that renewable green energy donation pool, electricity trading, oil trading. Okay, so when you are uh, when you are facing a physical commodity like electricity, now what is a commodity and collateral? I'm going to explain it. Say for example, you go into a gold loan, you apply for a gold loan. So what you do, you place your gold, and in return, that financial institution who is taking your gold, they will give you cash. So that gold has an intrinsic value. What do you mean by intrinsic value? That gold itself, that the material itself has a value of its own, but in return you are getting fiat currencies. What do you mean by fiat currencies? Well, fiat currencies are the ones like cash. You do not have an extra, there is no extrinsic value to it. There is no intrinsic value to it. There is extrinsic value to it. So the cash itself is a paper. The paper has no value to it. The value is provided by the system and the government. Okay, so collateral is something which you generally when you are suppose for example, as I said, gold loan, you are providing the gold as a collateral. In return, you are getting fiat. That is what a collateral, fiat, and commodity. Yeah, and commodity, that is what you mean by commodity. Okay, which has intrinsic value. How do we guess the nonce? Like, is there a specific method to find out the number? There are, I will show you. Okay, tomorrow, it's for tomorrow. That is what mining is. There are softwares available. That is, the entire internal working is going to be done by the software, and I have shown you what goes inside the internal working. But I will also show you as a user, as you are, like, what you need to do. You just need to like download the software and click the start button. That's all you need to, and you need to keep a computer on. And the algorithm will do everything on its own. And the method to find out is just simple permutations and combinations. So it's as simple as that. Anyone here doesn't know about what is permutation and combination, please do let me know. It's not a problem, I will explain it. Coding, okay. So we will be moving on to the coding session. I will be providing a link in the chat. Please go and visit this link. I will be providing this link in the group as well. Yes, you will be getting PPT. Okay, so the link looks something like this. You copy it. Okay, you go into the link, you copy it. Okay, I will wait for like 5-10 seconds. I hope everyone has clicked the link. So after clicking the link, you will be getting something like this. Do not worry, this is known as the GitHub. So GitHub is an open source. It can be closed, private as well, but this is an open source code where you can download the code that we have written. You click on this code, the green colored button over here, and then this clipboard sign. Click on this. The link will get copied. So then open your terminal. I don't know what system you are using, but I guess every system has a terminal. So then you make a directory. For example, blockchain workshop. Go into the directory. What is happening? Oh, it was my fault. I placed a space. Do not place a space over there. Then write this command: git clone, and then paste the link. Okay, the download shall begin on its own. So as you can see, the download is completed. So let me go. I will do it in a GUI way, else you'll all get confused. Oh, I need to zoom the terminal. Okay. So git clone, first create a directory, then write git clone, then the link. Okay. Let me see how is the chat going. Git clone. Okay, yeah, we have provided the instructions as well. So after you do this, you go into that. I'm comfortable with my terminal. I cannot find it in a GUI. I never use GUI. Okay, so I'm in the block. I'm going to open Visual Studio Code. You can you can go to that particular folder and do that. You need not do code dot. It's something which I'm comfortable with. So this is what it looks like. Okay. I will explain what are all these. First, look at the README file. So first you need to generate the address. Messages. What WhatsApp? Meet. Open, repeated, show the code, repeat. Okay. So what you need to do, you have downloaded this thing, right? Git clone, then blockchain workshop. Go into this particular folder. Okay. and open it with via Visual Studio Code. You can't do this because it requires a few steps to do. So what I will do, I do not even have Windows. You right click and select open with Visual Studio Code, or you can simply go to Visual Studio Code. But I will cancel everything. And simply go to Visual Studio Code, and over here open folder, and see I have downloaded this thing inside the blockchain work, like block, then blockchain workshop. I will open it. Okay, is it simple enough? Sir, what was about the term? Forget about it. If you weren't able to follow, I just showed you how to do it in a GUI manner, in the GUI manner, in the Visual Studio Code. Did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. So in the README file, first you will notice that I have written something like address. So what is this address? Let me tell you the two golden rules of coding. First golden rule number 1 is Google search. And the second golden rule is copy paste. Okay, so these are two golden rules that is the only thing that you need to know, at least for this session. And for upcoming, if you are able to master a little bit of coding, then also these two things are going to come in handy anytime, any day. At least it comes in handy for us as developers. So what do we need to do? We need to generate address. So there is something called the ECDSA algorithm in Node.js. Okay, the first, before that, I'm really sorry. Before that, you go and click on this terminal. Like for Mac, it is Control Command T. Control Command T. I don't know what is that for Windows. Yeah, a terminal will open. Else you can just go into this terminal option and open an integrated terminal. This is known as an integrated terminal. I know some of you might be like, what the hell is happening? But please do not worry. Follow along with me. If you are not able to follow along with me, do not worry. The code has already been supplied to you. You can rewatch the session as many times as you want, and I guess one day or the other you will get it. So in this integrated terminal, you need to write first command. You need to write this yarn. Okay. So first of all, see whether yarn is installed. If yarn is not installed, we will be sending you a command. Okay, first see that if yarn is installed or not. If you have installed Node.js, I am supposedly yarn comes along with it. I don't know, I have installed it way before. I guess the commands are being sent to install yarn if you do not have. Yeah, npm install gyarn. This is what you need to do. I have already installed. Let's see what happens if I try to install it again. Error, obviously, because I have installed it. Okay, so the first command after you have installed yarn. Oh, let me first check. What is it? Yeah, it won't be capital N. I have just mentioned. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm waiting. I know the people who are doing coding for the first time, it's going to be a little bit weird, but believe me, it's not going to be that weird once I started. It's just going to be simply copy pasting. I'll just copy paste. I'll be just Google searching and copy pasting. Okay, I won't be writing code. So all of you are done, I guess. G36 Arya. Okay, it is downloading. I guess I can wait. I can wait for a minute. Not more than that. Yeah, Rupam Maiti done. Okay. So you simply type yarn and press enter. Okay. After you do this, you will see that something called packet.json. Your packet.json should look like this. I guess this is done as well. भैया VS कोड में फाइल कैसे बनाना है? फाइल तो हम बना के दे दिए तुम लोग को बस इंस्टॉल करना है. It showed package added, but after that also yarn is showing error. Just ignore it. If it is showing error, just ignore it. What error is it showing? And just tell me what error. You can open your mic if you want. Okay, so there is a command for Linux as well. Sudo npm install -g yarn, tag g yarn, whatever you can call it. Some people call it minus, some people call it dash, some people call it tag. मतलब VS Code को use कैसे करेंगे? We have sent a few links for that, I guess, for installing Visual Studio Code, and you do not need to know how to use Visual Studio Code completely. Just follow along with me, okay, Purushottam Kumar. This session is going to be a little difficult because there are non-coders as well. I know. Unable to install yarn or download. One cannot be is disabled on the system for more information. Please show me how the JSON should look like. The JSON should look like this. Those who are having an error, our team will be helping you out. Do not worry. I'm continuing my session. Okay. So the first thing that you need to know is the address part. So Google search, simply Google search. What? Sir, while we are waiting, can you please go through the process once more, starting from GitHub, then run the command. Okay, so many people are having a problem. I will go through the process once more, slowly. Remove. Okay, so listen carefully. First, you need to type git clone, then the link that I have provided. Oh, I just copied the different thing. Link that I have provided. Then you go to this link. After you go to the link that I have provided, click on the code. Whatever this is, not need to worry. Click on this clipboard. Okay. Click on this clipboard thing. Then the link is going to get copied. Then again go to your terminal. You have typed git clone, paste it, press enter. Already exists. Oh, okay, sorry. First I need to remove that as well. RMRF blockchain workshop. Okay. Git clone, paste. Okay. Paste it. Enter. Done. Here. I'm not going to open it through terminal. I'm going to open it through VS Code. Okay. So Visual Studio Code. Open Visual Studio Code. Then you can see this thing. Open folder. Okay. If you click on this open folder, if you are on Mac, you will be seeing something like this, or if you are on Windows, you are going to see something, a different portal. I cannot show you from 2 to 3 different OS, so that's my constraint. So I'm going to open this blockchain workshop. I'm going to select it. I'm going to open it. And this is how it's done. Sir, can you do this in Git Bash? Yes. Please go slow. Okay. So now what you need to do is, there is something called the terminal option. I don't know what, how, and where is this terminal option in Windows, but I'm sure it is there, somewhere there. Okay, if it is not there, Control Command T. It's in Mac. I again don't know how to say it in Windows. I'm really handicapped at this. So just find this terminal option for Windows users and Linux users. Linux users have a similar UI, most probably, as far as I know. Linux users are going to have a similar UI. Windows users are going to have a different UI, but the terminal option is going to be there. Okay, click on this new terminal, and you will get it. Okay. So after you get into this terminal, first you need to do is yarn. Okay. Yarn dash version. Okay, press enter. If you are getting something like this, you're already done. If you are not getting something like this, if you are in Linux, type sudo npm -g yarn. Most probably this is the command, as far as I know. Let me see what my team has done. Yep, this is a command. Sudo npm install -e yarn. Okay, this is for Linux. If you are not in Linux, then use this command, npm install -g yarn. Npm, just remove that sudo part, install -g yarn. Okay, so if you have not installed yarn, you have to do this. Okay, so are you done? Let me see the chat. I'm getting object not found. Done. Okay, object not found. Anubhav, done. Anubhav, is it done yet? Somlik Dubey, done. Showing error, Saurabh Singh. What kind of error, Saurabh Singh? Will found rather. So maximum people are done. I guess done. I have fixed it. Okay, fine. So most of the people have got it. after this, what we need to do, just simply type yarn, okay, and press enter. Don't have to do anything else. Okay. Then we go into the package.json. You will see something like this. You do not need to worry about what is in there. You just see that something is there in the package.json or not. Are we done? Done. I have fixed it. भैया GitHub में कॉपी करने के बाद क्या करना है? I have said it twice already. Purushottam, npm command not found in Linux. Okay, so people do not have npm. So if you do not have npm, I guess you have not installed Node.js most probably. Can you show the yarn part? Just type yarn and space enter and press enter. Showing not found. Have you installed yarn, Udayan? I'm going too slow, a little too slow. No, how to do that? I just showed. Anyways, I'll show it again. If you are in Linux, type sudo npm install -g yarn. If you are in Windows, just cancel out the sudo part. As simple as that. Okay, if you are having any error, most probably you have not installed Node.js properly. Our team is providing you with all the necessary details that you need to do with Node.js. Okay. So any people who have problems, please. Okay, I will be now continuing with the session since many people have done it. Okay. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, so address part. You can, what is this? Okay, you can see a lot of code written over here. You do not need to worry about it. Okay, all you need to do is create a folder. Okay, how to create a folder? You can see this thing over here, new file, click it, type address, .js, enter. You can write in any name, but I recommend you to write this name. For address p means address.practice.js. So I will tell you how I have come to write this code and what does it mean. And you already have this code over here which works completely fine. We have checked it. So all you need to do is go into the like Google, type Node.js ECDSA. Okay, press enter. You will see something like starbank/ECDSA node, a lightweight and fast pure or something like this. Just going to click this link. I will be providing this link. No, do not worry. Okay, I will be providing this link. After you go into this link, you do not need to copy it like before. Okay, you do not need the full code. All you need to do is copy and paste. So what do you need to copy? See this thing, you can see this thing, right? var elliptic curve, private key, ECDSA. Just copy from here. Oh, this is what you do in programming. You copy and paste. Okay, so copy pasted. What do you need to do? See, the first part is already done. You see this thing? Star bang, ECDSA. You see this thing? This part is already done. Now what we need to do? We need to do something. I want over here. What we are doing is we want the private key and the public key, which I explained in the previous session. So ECDSA is an algorithm. I guess it's elliptic curve digital signature algorithm. This is the full form of ECDSA, and it provides you with a private key and a public key pair for every user. So as you can see over here, you simple use, go into the simple use, you simply copy and paste this. Okay, you copy and paste this. Copy this, go over here, forget about this part, paste this. Okay, you might not have cancelled the previous part, but yeah, it is what it is. So you have got a private key, you have got a public key. Now you need to hash these. Okay, so you need to hash the public key. It is because it is going to be publicly accessible, and you need to hash the private key as well, but it should be in a readable format. So see what I have done over here. I have used this thing called SHA 256 hash. Okay, and then okay, first let me explain what is when and how to get it. First let me see how the chat is doing. भैया गिटहब में कॉपी करने का okay, I guess people are getting things. If you're not getting things, please ask, because this is a little difficult part, I know. At least I find it difficult. Okay, after you have done this, you go again Google. As you have googled this, type SHA 256 just simple. Go into Stack Overflow, it saves your life. You go and find this line, base 64. Okay, this line, you're not going to use base 64, but come over here to address P, paste this. Cancel base 64, type hex. Okay, base 64 is a different encryption algorithm. You do not need to know what this entire line is doing coding wise. Okay, just need to know that we are, and from in place of this PWD, type what is written over here, public key. You need to encrypt the public key. Okay, I need to encrypt the public key. Simply I'm encrypting the public key using SHA 256. Nothing more, nothing fancy. Okay, then what I'm using is I'm using ripmd hash to encrypt the private key over here. Short, I am sorry. This ripmd hash is used to shorten things up. Say for example, now let's see what I have got. I'm going to print this. Okay, hash. Let's run this. Okay, to run a particular file, all you need to do is go into the terminal, type node. Okay, then type the address, the file that you want to run. Here the file name is address.p.js. So I'm going to write address p. They can write js as well, doesn't matter. Okay, I can't write JS. My fault. Okay, I'm getting an error. Public key dot hex reference crypto is okay. Crypto is not defined. So they are saying something like crypto is not defined. I'm not getting what is this crypto. Crypto is this thing. Okay, so what you need to do is simply go over here, and where is this crypto thing? Okay, here is this crypto thing. I need to copy this. I need to paste this. It goes as simple as that. Okay, then again I'm going to run it. Let's see. Okay, now through invalid error type data. What is this? The data argument must be type string or an instance of buffer. What is this error? Understand. Okay, I guess this is the error. Is the chat getting it? I don't understand. People are raising questions. Link to what? This one. I'm I'm letting you copy paste it. Just simply copy paste this. Oh, sorry, I'm mute. I was muted. So what was this problem over here? I didn't convert into string. So that was a simple problem. I'm going to copy this entire line and give it into the chat. Okay. So this is done. So now you can see that when after I'm running this code, I'm getting such a big hash. Okay. I do not want such do not want such a big hash. I want to shorten it. If you go into BitWiki, you can see the hash will be much shorter than this. So how to do that? I'll be using ripmd hash. So simply go over here. Not need to copy, again Google search. Just copy paste this line. Okay. After you copy paste this line, again you print and see after ripmd. And this one is after before ripmd. You do not need to do this. I'm just doing this to explain you these console.log things. So after I do this, okay, I am facing an error again. SHA hash is not defined. What SHA hash is not defined? Okay, I'm sorry. This will be hash. Update hash is not defined. Oh, it's capital H. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so it is working now. Let me show you it on bigger screen. Okay, so before ripmd hash, you can see the hash is this big. After ripmd hash, you can see the hash has been shortened. So this hash is basically your wallet address. Okay, this is basically a wallet address. And yes, we are actually coding blockchain over here. So this is how a blockchain is designed. And the address so generated is the wallet address. But someone was asking me, does every coin has a wallet address? Yes. And if I am designing a blockchain, a corresponding coin is also going to get created, and hence a wallet address needs to be created as well. And that is how we are creating a wallet address. ripmd hash. So I guess we are done over here. This is what this thing is doing. Okay, and then I have put this thing into a function, and then I'm exporting the function. Okay, so you might not do this right now. Right now, the only explanation is required, so I will be explaining things, and it's faster that way. So again, go to the okay. First, let me see how many people have done it. Any questions, or have you all हाल छोड़ दिया भाई सब कोई? Okay, so people are getting demotivated. Hello guys, are you done with it?
Yes.
Got lost after that copy pasting. What copy pasting? It's a command for running. Okay, command for running is node, then the file name. Okay. This is a command. Why did you use ripmd part? See, SHA-256, while we use SHA-256, it generates such a big hash. Okay, and sometimes, not sometimes, while you are mining, while you are sending your wallet address to someone, such a big thing, it's not shareable, right? Even this Google Meet link, it's so short. The shorter it is, the better it is. But again, the security, if I use something like base 64 hash or MD5 hash, those are much shorter hash, but their security level is not that good. So I am doing a double hash. So SHA-256, after that I am using ripmd hash. Okay. Module not found. Cannot find module addresses p at. Check your file name. Arindam Laha. Check your file name. I guess it is not this. It is trying to find this file name. Can't relate you. Got lost after the copy pasting. Okay, so how many of you are non-coders over here? And how many of you code regularly? This is basically for coders. So if there are not many coders over here, just Sujan Mukherjee, you can open your mic if you want. So if you are from a non-coding background, this is going to be really difficult for you. In that case, I will just be explaining what this thing is. Like C++ आता है. Okay, so Gulfam is one coder. Python, sir, show your versus window. I didn't get you, Rupam. Me C आता है. मुझे भी C++ आता है. C. I am from coding, but I am still stuck at this NPM thingy. VS. Okay, Arindam Laha, you want to say something, so you can open your mic.
Yes, I have checked through it, but I have written the correct name of the file, but it shows the module not found still.
Okay.
So can I share my screen so that you can check it if there is any? mistake in the code itself.
Okay, fine, fine, sure. You can share your screen.
Yeah,
I'll stop
that would be
presenting.
better.
Stop presenting. So many of you are coders. So I thought, yeah, your people are not from coding background. So how many people of you have used VS Code over here? Me, Srijan, me. So okay, these guys are not will not be having any problem. Sublime पर हो जाता है सब. हाँ, Sublime is equivalent to VS Code. I mean an editor. Like if you use C, most probably you will be using gedit or code blocks. They are really very different from VS Code. So you might be having a problem. Hi. Arindam, you
Yeah,
just need to save your file. Control
okay.
Z. Control plus Z. Control plus Z. If you are using Windows. Control plus S. Sorry. Control plus S.
What this? Not this.
Stop. Okay, you .js is there. Having problem in a npm part.
Not this. Address t.js. Come on.
Node. Type node. Arindam. Type node. Node space address p.js. That should be your command to run this file. Someone is having problem with this. Still having problem with npm. Type npm space dash dash version. Okay. Then let me know if it is not showing anything. Arindam is stuck. Don't understand. You just need to write one line. Each time I run, I get a different hash. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I have fixed it.
Okay,
I
you have
was
fixed it.
saving in the wrong location and I was running at the wrong location.
It's okay, not a
Yeah.
problem. You can stop presenting now. What is your Arindam, you can stop presenting now. Okay, I shall progress with the session. It is as far as I've asked, there are a number of coders as well. So if you are a non-coder, do not worry. Just follow through what I am saying, and you do not need to do it as I say. Okay. You will get the recording. You can watch it as many times as possible. We will be supplying you with videos. where you will be instructed how to use VS Code, you will be instructed how to use JavaScript, everything. If you are willing to learn, we will be providing you with the resources. Okay. So without any further ado, I will be explaining what is happening over here. So, for the coders out there, I've done this. You have explained. You have very much understood what I'm doing over here. I'm returning the repempty hash and generating. I'm generating a public key and a private key. I'm returning the repempty hash of the public key, and then I'm returning the address of it. So the wallet address of it, the public address, the public address of it. Okay. So after this, go into the readme file. You will get to see the database part over here. So the database we use over here is LevelDB. So you simply need to write node.js LevelDB. Click on the first option. Wait a second. Okay. So my team first suggested what you need to know. You need to learn a little bit of LevelDB. So first of all, I don't think so. You people, most of you understand what a database is. So let me first explain. Show you what a LevelDB is. LevelDB. So this is a site of LevelDB, the GitHub site of it. The code is explained over here. So this is a key value database. Okay, so what is a database? First of all, a database is something which stores data. So anything, for example, you're logging into your Facebook account. You're first of all, you're registering yourself with a user ID, with a password, and then that, what do you think that user ID and password is going? Where do you think that user ID and password is going? That is going into a database which is hosted by Facebook itself, and which stores your personal details. And then after you log into it, you log in with the new with your user details. It checks with the details that you have registered in previously. So that is what a database is. It basically is uh, it basically is something which stores data. I can't explain what a database is right now. This is the maximum I can do. So um, LevelDB is kind of a key value database. What is a key value database? I'll show you in Typora. The key value database is something like, if you have used Python, I heard someone used the word Python. So if in Python you have used dictionaries, so this is called the key. One is called the key and two is called the Python. I can place comma and like this, LevelDB. So like Shri Salman Khan. Okay. So what is this? When I try to access, when I say, hey server, what is the value at key is equal to 2? What is going to return me? It is going to return LevelDB. LevelDB. Who is returning this data? The database is returning this data. Okay. So this is what basically a key value database means. Then you have SQL databases or non-NoSQL databases. There is Oracle-based databases. I am not going into the details of what a database is. It is out of the scope. So this is what a database is. LevelDB database looks like this. Cancel it. You go into this site, Node.js LevelDB. You click on the first link. You copy paste this entire thing. This, yes. You copy paste this entire thing, usage. Copy it. Then you create another file, okay? Database p.js. Paste it. Remove the comment lines. Okay, so if you are in Mac, I'm going to tell you a shortcut. If you use the option key and then press the delete key, the entire word gets deleted. If you press the command and the delete, the entire line gets deleted. If you're in Windows, control and delete, the entire line gets deleted. Okay, just like this. That's a shortcut which I use from time to time. Okay, so what is this? What is this thing doing? There are like CRUD operations in a database. CRUD operations. Not fear, I will be explaining what a CRUD operation is. It's basically C for create. Is a command line. C for create. R for read. Q for update. And finally D for delete. Okay, so this is what a CRUD of the database performs such these four operations generally. So what does this like we do it in level DB by using the put option. Like you put values to a database. Simple English. Put values to a database. Okay. Then read. You read values from the database. And update. You update values in the database. Okay, I'm not writing it again. And delete means you delete values in the database. It's simple English, right? So now go into this database file that we have over here. So as I have stated in Typora, like it is a key value database. Oh my god, Typora. Key value database. This is a key. One is the key, and this is the value. So over here, we have a key one, and the value is anything. For example, text block, the transactions over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to replace this name with 1. I'm going to remove this level thing. I'm going to paste it over here. So what did I do is simply this is the key part, name is the key part, level is the value part, and this function is checking whether any error occurs or not. If any error occurs, the value won't be put into the database. So instead from in this key part, I'm just replacing name with 1, and in the value part, what I'm placing, these are TXX. TXS means transactions. Okay, so all the transaction details are of the block is going to go over here. Instead of this test block over here, we have to write another bunch of codes and then push it over here. Okay, so this is what basically this is basically what is happening. All right, and then you can write this, or you can use a ternary operator. I like to use it. So instead of this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this. Okay, same thing. You can if you don't want to change it, it's completely fine. So this is what is happening. What does this line do? I just as I told, if there is an error question mark, if there is error, return that error. Console.log means returning that error. Else after that colon return null. Okay, that this is what is basically happening over here. So this was the put value. Now we are going to do the get value. Get value means, see, put value means you are putting values into the database. Simply you are putting values into the database. Okay. And then get values means you are simply fetching values from the database. But I have not put any values to the database till now. Yes, it will be recommend. Okay, sir, please wait a minute. Okay, I'm waiting a minute, not a problem. I'm just simply copy pasting what has already been given over here. Okay, I'm just telling you where I have copy pasted things from. I have copy pasted it from over here. You can see I have simply I have put one instead of name. I have put json.stringify in place of that. Okay, I'm not going to explain how node is going to work. That is going to take two, 3 workshops. Okay, how node works, how a database works, how like JSON, what is JSON, what is stringify doing over here. I cannot explain all that, right? I'm just showing you how a blockchain is developed. If you have interest in the app development, you can try it, and how to do it. Like if no one will come out of the blue moon and say like I want to develop blockchain and I don't know where to start from. So if you want to learn it in the future, I'm telling you where you can copy paste things from. Okay, this is basically not for everyone. That is why I've kept it in the second session. Okay, now do not need to worry, guys. Database. I'm going to run it. Okay, now you can see that something called node modules is there. Okay, and then mydb is something that is going to be there if you run this database file. Okay, a folder named mydb is going to get created. Now I have put values in the database. Okay, now I am going to comment out this line. I'm going to get value. Okay, let's see what value it gives me. Test block, it's there. Okay, so again, if I'm going to comment out this line, what did I do basically? Previously I commented out this line, and I just sorry, I commented out this I put one value name called test block, and then I commented out this line. I just got I fetched the values. After fetching the values, it gave me test block. I'm going to do it again so that it will be clear for you. So for example, now instead of test block, I'm going to this best block. Okay, I'm pushing this value into the database with a key value of 2. I'm pushing this value into the database. Okay, value pushed. And now I'm going to comment out this line. And I'm going to uncomment this line. I'm going to get the values. I'm going to fetch the values of what? Of the second key value. I'm fetching it. So what will happen? See, test block. I'm getting the result. Okay. Now if I again again want to fetch the key value 1, I'm getting the test block. So this is what is happening inside the database. Okay, I'm pushing the values and then I'm fetching the values. Let me see how many people are understanding. Check the location where you are saved. How did you learn? That is a good question. I've learned from experience, my brother. We don't work alone over here. We have a developer team. Of course, blockchain has tens of thousands of code. I'm just showing you a miniature portion of a blockchain. And the blockchain we have, TRU coin, you can, I will be sending you the link. You can find it in GitHub. It is an open source code. Any sources you would like to recommend to learn coding? Of course, you can learn Code with Mosh. I like that guy. Telusco. I like that guy as well. Like he is a good teacher, coding teacher. Blockchain. I have learned blockchain by myself. I have not like watched. I've watched number of videos, like all the videos that are available on YouTube. The best one I would say, 3Blue1Brown. And those long videos like 4 hours, 8 hours video, do not watch those videos. They're worthless. Watch the shorter videos like 3Blue1Brown, Simply Learn, Binance Academy. Yeah, short videos. Go for the short videos. Do not go for the longer courses. I won't recommend that at all. And then I will recommend you this thing like Bitcoin Wiki. BitWiki. What was the name of the website, Ramit? Bitcoin Wiki, right?
Bitcoin Wiki.
Yeah. This is for the developers. Okay. So if you want to develop a blockchain like Bitcoin, this is the website to go. This is not Wikipedia. This has been developed by the developers of blockchain. So if you go into this thing, blockchain, from A to Z, there are like hundreds of things in here. Okay. And it's humongous. The syllabus is monstrous. So blockchain is not a short thing at all. We have tried to compress it in as user-friendly words as possible. If you see the Bitcoin white paper, you will just you won't understand a word. Okay, so we have tried to simplify it as much as possible. And if you want to learn at like the absolute depth of it, go for Bitcoin Wiki. That I would recommend. Then there is something called the ETH Wiki or the Ethereum. YouTube channel's name. Link. I need to first.
I think we can send it to them as a message after the workshop.
Yeah. Those things can be sent. These two things you can work on if you are like really interested in the blockchain, in understanding blockchain at my like absolute professional level. You can go into these sites. We recommend we ourselves go and visit these sites. Trading must have paisa what? Please don't use such words. Full form. Can you please send us the names of the video? Okay, fine. I will be moving on with my coding session. So after that, go into the README file. You will find something called the RPC server. So now things get even more complicated. Okay, so this is the RPC server. All you need to do is go into the Google, type Node.js RPC. Go into the first thing that you'll see. I'm sorry, not RPC, it's QRPC. QRPC Node.js. data, this one. You see this create server, add handler, just copy it, create a new folder, rpcp.js, paste it. Then you go into the original RPC file. You see there is something called the @tx. Okay, where is this @tx coming from? This is coming from mempool. Okay, so I need to design a mempool as well. So you go into the mempool, you see something like this. Okay, you go, okay, I'm sorry, create a new file, mempool p.js. You actually create a list. Okay, so var is means a variable, mempool list. Okay, this is what you do. Then what can you do? You can add transactions function. I'm sorry, why did this HTML tag come? Wow. Wow, I'm hanged. If you oh, I'm so sorry. Function @tx. Then you type in data. Then all you need to do is mempool list dot push. So why did I type these things out and not just copy paste? It is to make you understand that what I'm doing is, this is a list. Okay, what is a list? A list is something which stores data. Like for example, it can store data like Tomit, comma, Patra, comma, Mohit. Okay, it can store string data like this, or it can store something like numeric data like this. This is what a string basically is. And dot push means, say for example, the list is something like this now, like 1, 2, 3, and the data is equal to 4. If I do this thing like dot push data, so this thing like 1, 2, 3, 4 list, this will become like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is what basically dot push method does. Now function get tx, oh I'm sorry, get transactions. So what I'm adding transactions to this list. What do you mean by adding transactions? So for example, I want to place a new transaction. How am I going to do it? In like coding world, I'm going to create a list and I'm going to send the data to in the list and just push it. Get the data, you simply return mempool list. Okay, this is what I've done most probably. Yeah, in JavaScript you have to do something like exports module.exports is equal to @tx, comma, get tx. I know it is going to get a little bit difficult for you guys, but do not worry. The entire code is supplied to you. Just you can just understand what is going on over here. Okay, this is the only, probably the only code that you cannot copy paste from anywhere in Google. Apart from that, now RPC part, I'm coming to the RPCP part. Oh, okay, so this is the thing that I've copied from here, right? The entire thing that I've copied from here. So now go into the original like RPC folder. So what difference do you see? Like this is a P file, this is the mempool file. So start from here, then you will understand. Server.add handler. What is this add handler doing? This add handler is basically saying that this like this server is sending a request. Okay, the server is sending a request in the name of add tx. Like server is saying that if there is a command called add tx, if there is a command called add tx being placed by a client, then what we are going to do is that client part is going to provide me data, and that data is going to go to add tx function, which I have already defined in mempool. I know none of you understood what I have said, so what I'm going to do is show you in Typora what I mean. So there is like two parts, server part and client part. So the server part over here is receiving data from the client part. And the client part is receiving data, sorry, sending data to the server. Who is the client over here? Client are basically people who want to add the transaction. You people, you guys who are users of blockchain. You want to send in a transaction, you have a sending amount, you have senders receiver's address, wallet address, and you have bunch of other details too. So this is the data part that you are sending. This is the data part that I'm talking about when I'm doing the mempool over here. This is the data part. Okay, so this is what basically the RPC thing is doing. Okay, so this add tx function is doing that. Get the transactions. Let me show you, then you will understand what I'm trying to say. Let me show you the practical. Not you need not go into the technical details of it. It will become very difficult for me to make you understand. It is because I guess none of you are familiar with Node.js that much, and yeah, it is quite a complex bit of programming. So I will just let you know what the hell is going on. Okay, wait. RPC. You can see that QRPC listening on port 1337. I'm just going to split the terminal. This is the server part which I have talked about. Node client. I have a file called client.js. Reply from server. Okay. I have this client part as well. Okay. So this is a client part and this is a server part. Okay, you can see the server part and this is a client part. So in client part, I either have to say I have to say I can add transactions, I can get transactions, I can get, what is this? I can get address. This is not a required part. Okay, this part is not required. It's already getting too complex and don't want to get into another complexity. So this is a address part. So if you want to get address, for example, I want to add a transaction. This is a client part. This right hand part is a client part, and this is a server part. Okay, so you as a user, client.js space add tx. Say for example, I want to add transaction named Amit Shah. Reply from server Amit Shah. Okay, so let me see whether I can get the transactions or not. Client. Okay, I'm sorry. Get transactions or not. Get TXS. Where I get this TXS from? I'm getting this TXS from over here. These are the commands. These are the commands that the user are going to use, that the users of the blockchain are going to use to get data from the blockchain database. Okay. So I'm going to press enter. You can see reply from server Amit Shah. Okay, I have just pushed this data Amit Shah. I am getting the data Amit Shah. Okay. So let's push another something else. Let's put Narendra Modi. Namo. Okay. Reply from server. Yes, it has been done. Let us get the transaction details. Okay, Amit Shah and Namo. So the Amit Shah didn't get deleted, but Namo got added. How is this possible? This is possible by the mempool, which I'm creating over here. Okay. So the mempool, I'm pushing data. I'm not deleting it. As I've said, for example, there is something, a list like 1, 2, 3. Then after I push something like list was like Amit Shah, right? Firstly it was Amit Shah. Then the second time I added Namo. So it became Amit Shah, Namo. This is what we mean by pushing data. Okay. This is what we mean by pushing data. For example, I can push another data. For example, I'm Mamta Banerjee. Okay, it is getting too political. Okay. I'm again getting the transaction. You can see has been added. So this is what basically means by pushing of data. Let me see how is the chat going. Okay. Now if you are having any doubts, it means you're not getting anything I'm saying. I know this will happen. Blockchain programming is not something that like you do in everyday life, right? Okay, so I guess we are done over here. This is what blockchain programming basically looks like in simple terms. Like this was an absolute simple term, like simplest way you can create a blockchain. So how is a blockchain is getting created? See, basically you have done a lot of things. If you see, you're generating the public key and the private key, you're generating the wallet address. Then you're creating a database. You're pushing the values into the database, and you can define it like you can push things into the database. You can get things from the database, and then you create an RPC server where there is a server and there is a client. What is a client? Clients are users of the blockchain. Use the clients push data into the blockchain, and the server part. What does it do? It gets your data and then pushes into the blockchain database. But in between there is a consensus algorithm. Of course, I have not done the consensus algorithm. It is because it would have been even more complex. Like to design a consensus algorithm, we need a team of people. One person cannot even touch the consensus algorithm. It is so difficult to do. So I thought I will be giving you a general overview. You do not need to understand any part of it. I just wanted to let you know that blockchain programming is done like this. And if you ever want to do something like design blockchain, you can simply Google search things like the things that I've taught you: ECDSA algorithm, QRPC servers. You basically need these things, and you can refer to these things. Okay, if you refer to these things, you see JSON RPC over here. You see JSON RPC over here. Okay. ETHWiki, this is JSON RPC over here. So if you ever want to design a blockchain, or if you ever want to go into a company where they are designing blockchains, because this obviously is going to be the future, then you can start like this. This is absolute beginners and the starting point where you, if you want to develop blockchain, you can refer to these sources, refer to what I have said, Google search and copy paste simply. Google search and copy paste. That is what we do. That is what we have done. And but as you have seen, like even Google searching and copy pasting is not that easy as it seems. So I will be giving you a little statistics. So what we are going to do tomorrow? Tomorrow we are going to earn money, right? So who doesn't like to earn money? There was a man who bought some bitcoins, got a like free bunch of bitcoins because like in 2008 people were like giving away bitcoins for free. So there was this man who had a bitcoin worth 1800 crores, and he lost his password. He lost his password was there in a hard drive, and he threw it into a dump. So when he threw it into the dump, after like 5 years or 6 years after bitcoin grew, he came to know that the password was worth 1800 crores. And he it just blew his mind. He even asked the Chinese asked, I don't know what government was it, San Francisco US government, to ask him he asked the government that please let me withdraw, let me check out for where my hard drive is in the dump. But of course the government didn't allow. It is because 4 years 5 years, where will he find this hard drive, god knows. So you can see like the worth of bitcoin has risen so much. It has risen so much that it is like one of the best investment things that you can do. Elon Musk, you know, he's currently the world's leader, you can say the leader of the world. He has invested a few billions in Bitcoin, and he has like few billion assets in Bitcoin as well. So and Bitcoin's price has just skyrocketed in a few months. I remember in September 2020 the price of Bitcoin was like $5,000, $5,000 to $6,000 most probably. And now in 2021 the price of Bitcoin is $57,000. It even touched $61,000. So you see that like it's 100 times increase in what 10 times increase in what it previously was. So for example, if you have invested 100 rupees, you might get a return of 1,000 rupees, or you might get a return of 10,000 rupees. So if you invest 1 lakh, you will be getting like 10 lakhs or 10 crores, like 1 crore. You can get like the amount that you are going to get through trading and investments in Bitcoin is the real deal over here. Blockchain technology is just the underlying technology. What people are actually interested in is how to make money. They might make money in two ways: by mining and by trading. If you trade properly, like you are going to get returns that is just going to skyrocket your assets. You are going to, like, if you properly trade, you do not need to even go and get a job. Okay. If say for example this man 1800 crores, if you get 1800 crores, why would you do a job? Tell me. And Bitcoin today's for example, today a coin launched and its initial starting value is say 1 rupee. That coin, the value of that coin might rise to like 5 rupees. Even if it rises to just 5 rupees, it's a 5-time increase. So for example, if you have invested in that new coin, invested 1 lakh rupees in that new coin, you will get 5-time return if that price goes as high as 5 rupees. And you know that the price, if you know that price is going to go up, and even if it goes to just 5 rupees, not a big increase, 1 to 5 rupees, but it's 5 times than the previous value. So you are going to get 5 lakhs in return if you invest 1 lakh. So the returns are huge in mining. Yes, if you just the only investment that you need to do in mining is electricity. That's all. We are going to do all these things tomorrow, and I hope everyone is interested in making money, a little money. I don't know who doesn't want to make money. I'm sure people won't be bored that day tomorrow. Mining, yes, I'm going to teach you how to do mining. Okay, Mohit, I guess I'm done over here. Are there any questions? Yes, Udayan. Can you go to the address P once? Yeah, I'm sure I can go. Are there any more questions? Do we need to go through today's? No, not at all. Today's coding session, I know blockchain coding is really difficult. Okay, it's not easy to do. Even though it was really basic, but blockchain coding is difficult to do. We have just done this so that if anyone is ever interested in and he wants to code in the future, they know what path to walk on. That was our only motive. You do not need to understand whatever coding session that you have just undergone. I know it was like,
Instructions about coding on the group.
and yes, we will be sending the entire instructions on the group. So if you want to understand coding, like how it is done, you will be able to. So if you don't want to, if you are just a blockchain enthusiast and you want to trade and do stuff like that, you will be able to do that. Okay. You teaches technical analysis, technical, yeah, technical analysis. It is TECH. I will be teaching technique. No, not really. I won't be teaching you technical analysis. It is a really big portion technical analysis, like when the graph will go bearish or bullish, and what are the exact patterns, and when you like need to invest on. I'll that technical analysis is a huge portion. It I need to like take regular classes for 2 days a week to teach you technical analysis. It's a huge portion. I can't cover it in one day. I will be teaching you how to like buy and sell cryptocurrencies, how you're going to like understand technical analysis. You're going to understand spot trading, you're going to understand futures trading, you're going to understand how is mining done. That is all. If you people provide a complete material on cryptocurrency which starts from scratch, okay, you will be provided with that, and we will be looking into it. Soumya Naya. Top 10 performers award on what grounds? Okay, we we will let you know tomorrow. Okay.
Arindam, basically one ground is also about how active you are in the workshop, how good questions are you asking. So make sure that you ensure that too. Apart from that, the exact criteria, the presenters and your teacher will inform you tomorrow.
So how many of you got bored for in today's coding session? It's okay. I guess these guys do not have any questions left. I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Fine, sir. So with this, we come to the end of the first day of the cryptocurrency and blockchain workshop. First of all, we would like to thank TriUnits for conducting this workshop for us, and also our presenter Shashwato sir for doing it so well. I personally felt that it was a session which covered both the insights to blockchain and cryptocurrency, because some of you are not familiar with coding and some of you are. So this is the reason why it was done in 2 sessions. The first session was completely about the basics and the concepts. The recording of that session is already in the description of the WhatsApp group of your crypto workshop. The second session, which was a coding session, we will rename it as a coding session and upload it. So the coding enthusiasts can just watch that, rewatch that, and try it again at home. And people who are not yet familiar with coding, that recording will stay with you for a lifetime. So as and when you can learn and catch up with it, it would be great. So we'll be sending you the recordings today itself in the group. You can always interact and ask your questions in the group, and we'll ensure that the communication is smooth. Apart from that, if you guys want something from the organizational aspect, you could always message us in the group if you want certain things to change. So again, thank you so much for attending today's session. It was a great session. Sir, what time can we start tomorrow? The same time?
Tomorrow, same time.
Same
10 a.m.
time. Okay, then we'll be starting tomorrow's session at 10 a.m. The link to the session will remain the same, although I will resend it, but it will remain the same. So this link itself, tomorrow 10 a.m. we shall all meet here for day 2 of the cryptocurrency and blockchain workshop, Arohan 2021. Thank you, everyone. This was it for the day. Unless you have any doubts, you could ask. Otherwise, you can drop off.
One second, I have a question.
Yeah, Arindam.
Yeah, can you please start tomorrow at 9 because it was mentioned. If possible, it's not a request, just if everyone accepts.
9.
Yeah,
Not
or 9:30.
See, it's not just dependent on me, it's dependent on my team as well.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, it's okay. Thank you.
10.
Okay.
So, I had a question.
Yeah, Srijan?
Like, can you suggest like from which platforms can we start? Can we like just get a head start for trading in bitcoins or altcoins? Just get started.
Like you want to study or you want to learn about trading?
I
or
want to start trading. I like want to buy. If I
Okay,
want, which platforms can I buy?
So I will be teaching you trading on our own platform, TryUnits. So if you are comfortable with TryUnits, it's okay. Else we will be recommending you a few other trading platforms as well. But that is for tomorrow.
Okay.
If you have any questions for related to today's topics, then ask.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Fine, guys. All of you can drop off.